What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy Pod Day! Yeah, let's go. Woo! Welcome to the See.Plan.Do show with me, your host, professional life coach, business coach, relationship coach, serial entrepreneur, buffalo wing aficionado, and all things in the community, all those wonderful things, Mr. Gary O'Neill Jr. And as always, when you're out and about, please don't forget the Junior. Shout out to Pops. Welcome to another power-packed podcast, bro. Listen, man, this show is lit. I don't know if you don't know, but this show is lit, and I do it for you. I do it for me. I do it for you, though. All right? Without further ado, shout out to everybody checking out this show, whether it's your first time watching this show, whether you are one of my day ones, an executive producer, you are watching this from YouTube or you're listening to this on your favorite streaming platform. Thank you. And especially, thank you for checking out this episode as well as other previous episodes. This is season 3, episode 12, entitled Vegan Talk. And I have one of my special guys on the show, Chef Kane, will be in the building. All right. And we're going to be talking about vegan stuff. All right. And also, of course, we have our Appetizer. We're going to be talking about the latest Verzuz match between Gucci and Jeezy, as well as we're going to be talking about the recent fight between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. All right, so without further ado, let's get to our See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland, and this is entitled Be a Drug Dealer. So here's some business lessons that you can learn directly from a drug dealer. Number 1, don't take your product for granted. All right? Create the best product in the market before your customers find it elsewhere. All right? The next thing is word of mouth marketing. Hey guys, guess what? If your product is good, people will talk about it. Word of mouth matters. The next thing is freemium. I like that. Freemium business model. And what's freemium business model? Guess what? Give a little bit. Give a little for free and keep them coming back for more. Give them a little taste. And the last one is control supply. Control the supply of the market and always keep that price high. All right? That is your See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland, entitled Be a Drug Dealer. But hey, really, don't be a drug dealer. Just learn lessons from a drug dealer. But hey, guess what? Come here. Don't be a drug dealer. But if you were, you can listen to the lessons. All right? So can we get to our Greenlight Entertainment Song of the Week? Of course we can. And here's another great hit coming right at you. All right. That was your Greenlight Entertainment Song of the Week. And so, hey, here on the See.Plan.Do show, again, with professional life coach, your host, Gary O'Neill Jr., Season 3, Episode 12, Vegan Talk. I have Chef Kane in the building. And so right before we talk to him, Kay, I know you have a chef coming on, but can we get to our appetizer? Absolutely. So the appetizer, let's talk about it. All right, so the latest Verzuz match, I'm disappointed. They should be having them rolling out a little bit more, but I appreciate what they have. The latest one was Gucci versus Jeezy. All right, so guess what? I know you want to hear my thoughts about it. Hit it. You want to hear it? Here it go. All right, first thing is, as everybody will say, outside of if you are a Gucci stan, Jeezy easily won this. Like, come on, man. Like, Jeezy won. Like, it was easy. He definitely played a lot of big records, a lot of records that resonate to people who like Jeezy. I like Gucci, but that catalog was a little too massive for Gucci with some of the local records. And what I mean by that is some of the records that Gucci played, like, I really didn't know like that. So it was good, but Jeezy had some phenomenal hits that just crushed it. Now, I will say that while it was good for the culture, though. It was great for the culture, considering they really had legit beef, like legit. Where if you did not know, allegedly, because I don't know for certain, but of course you see what's going on, that Jeezy hired someone to allegedly go after Gucci, and then Gucci killed him. That's legit beef. So I don't know if I can do a versus, man. I don't know. I think I can rap with somebody who I think just tried to have me killed. But it was good for the culture that they was able to get together. Now, while it was good for the culture and it was good they got together, it was spicy, though. It was muy caliente as far as the spice, because Gucci was really like off top. If you watched it, the first song was a diss track that he had for Jeezy. And he talked about some lot of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. He was very spicy with it. He talked about him. He talked about his clothes. I mean, Gucci was very nicely dressed. He had some Gucci stuff on. It looked really good. I mean, of course, the memes, you're not gonna get past the memes. He looked like just think about James Evans and think about how he used to have that camel colored corduroy outfit. And that's what he looked like. But he looked great. Jeezy looked like he was trapping. He looked like he just came outside trapping. He had a jersey on. He had a fur on. But it was very spicy. He talked about him. It was spicy. But it was good to see that they were able to get together to be able to resolve it. I will still stand on the idea that I felt like it was staged. Now, I'm not going to say staged as far as like being phony, but I'll say that I really feel like it was staged, meaning that like they didn't just meet that day. Like they had these conversations. They sort of probably chilled and dealt with it beforehand, but this wasn't the first time they've seen each other. It was just too many little things, like when Gucci really was coming at him, and then Jeezy had this motivational thing, and then the DJ just came right in with a song. That was as a DJ, they already had that ready to go. So it was great though. It was good for the culture. It was good to see men put their beef aside. And they wind up playing the song that they had together at the end. The only issue I had with this entire production, I'm from Baltimore. Gucci's On Deck song is an anthem here. If you go to any club in Baltimore and it's a hip hop club and they play On Deck, people are going to dancing on two-step. That's a treasure here. That was really the only reason why I look forward to the match, is I wanted to hear On Deck, because if they would have played it, it would have at least been 500,000 people in Baltimore doing a two-step at the same time. He didn't even play it. I was stunned. That was a hit record to me. I still listen to it nowadays. As a DJ, I still play it. Like when I'm playing a party and it gets to the end of the night, we playing it because people want it. So I was disappointed in that, but it was a great match. I really liked it. The last thing I'll say about that before I move on is initially it was supposed to be T.I. in the mix, and now looking at the catalogs, T.I. would have definitely washed both of them. It would have got real quick. So, it was great. I look forward to the next one. Hopefully they can get more in a little bit more frequently, but it was really, really great. So if you haven't watched it, go back and check it out. But it was good. All right, so that's out of the way. Let's talk about the most recent thing, which was Mike Tyson fighting Roy Jones. All right. So they're both over 50 years old. So like it really wasn't, I mean, come on, like you're not really expecting too much, but I will say the production level of it was they hyped it up because they kept showing videos of Mike Tyson practicing. And I'm thinking that, wait a minute, Roy, you might get killed in the ring. Ain't gonna be no exhibition. But it was good. But before we talk about the main event, if you watched it, if you watched it or you did not watch it, all I need you to do is watch the undercard match. We had former NBA star and dunk champion Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson is 5'9". So if you remember Nate Robinson when he played, he won the dunk contest. Great, dunking over people. He played for the Knicks. He's a great dunker. He'll get you. He fought, and I had to look it up. I didn't even know who this person was. He fought Jake Paul, who recently became a professional fighter like 3 years ago. But he's a YouTube star. He got money. He's a YouTube star, like out here. Guys, if you haven't watched it, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you right now. Listen. Clearly, Nate was not ready. And what I mean by not ready, of course, he's an athlete. He was very eager jumping out the gate to try to fight him. But I tell my son, I tell people all the time, the counter punch is the worst punch in the world. And let me tell you something. If you didn't watch it, if you're watching this now, you saw those memes. You saw the video clips. And when Jake leveled him with that punch that knocked him out, that was it. And he had been knocking him out. He had been hit him before and was hurting him. But knocking him out, I'm not going to lie, you can't do that in this day and age. Too much stuff hits YouTube. We got too many comedians out here, man. I'm a comedian. With the memes, it's going to happen before you leave the building. So he knocked him out. That was a cold-blooded knockout. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if Nate can recover socially from that. All right, I don't know. He hopefully even now, these drop on Tuesday. Hopefully he didn't even turn on his phone. Just keep your phone. If you're listening to this, I know you watch the show, Nate. Keep your phone off until at least next week. Because for us to not talk about Nate, Mike Tyson would have had to get knocked out, or Roy Jones. That didn't happen. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But today, oh no. Nate getting knocked out like that? That was crazy, man. The real winner, before I even talk about Mike and Roy, the real winner of this show, of the whole match, of the whole pay-per-view event, was Snoop. Listen, Snoop was not playing games. Snoop came in, did his concert, provided color commentary, killed the concert. That color commentary, and was really funny, man. He was great. Like, they need to get him. If they want to keep doing these type of matches, keep him going. Keep him going. Snoop, I know you watched the show. Thank you. You killed that. All right. So let's talk. So Snoop really did a great job with that. And so with the main event, Roy versus Mike, it was okay. I expected Mike to kill Roy in the ring. I'm talking about Rocky killing in the ring, throwing the towel. If he dies, he dies type of killing in the ring. He didn't do that. Roy Jones held on for dear life, but Roy was better than I thought. I will say that this fight could have happened in any black cookout with over a spades game or a domino game. That went wrong. This could have easily happened. They both look good. I mean, for them to be 51 and 54 respectfully, like they both look good. It was a good match. It was good. I feel like, Roy knew what he was going to do. He would hit. He would throw a couple of little jabs. He even had his little no-look jabs. He looked good. But I was expecting to see Mike snap and go demon Mike, as me and my brother talked about, and just start killing him in the ring. But it didn't happen. If it went to 12, I think that it would have been a problem. But guess what? What are you really going to get from a 51 or 54-year-old man? It was good. It was good. Above all else, I'm glad I watched it, but equally glad I didn't pay $49.99 because I'm not paying that. Okay, so shout out to the universe and the YouTube and the universe and the streaming platforms that hooked the brother up. $49.99, and that fight would happen, I'd have been in the next fight card. I'd have had to fight somebody, but it was good to see that match. It was good to see that I can see them keeping it going. This would be, imagine a versus match of boxing. So, but with it was like a boxing versus match. So I can see them doing that, keeping it going. It wasn't sanctioned by, the boxing federation. So they didn't really have a real official card of who won. It was good though. I was entertained. It was good. I liked it. All right. So that's our appetizer, of course, our appetizer of the week, sponsored by Lalone Clothing. Guess what? You can get a hoodie like this. You can get some, if you like the show, you've always been a fan of the show. If you want to just buy something to support the show, you can get all of the podcast merch as well as some other shirts that fit your vibe. I'm going to be dropping a new shirt for the most part every month. So please check it out. Head on to Lalone Clothing. That's LALONE clothing.com and pick up a shirt, stickers, coffee mug, anything, any of those things that I have there that fit your vibe. All right. So that's our appetizer for the week. Now, guess what? Can we get to the entree? Absolutely. So without further ado, let me bring our special guest for the evening, Mr. Chef Chris Kane. Let me bring him on. Chris, what's up, man?
What's happening, brother? How are you?
I'm pretty good, Chef. How are you, man? As I said, you look great, man. How are things going with you?
Oh man, trying to maintain during this COVID and the COVID crisis and stuff like that, man. Just trying to keep positive head and keep my head above ground. You already, you know how things are when you're trying to maintain that peace, So
absolutely, you have to maintain that peace, and I appreciate all the stuff that you say and do out here, not just online, not here on the show, but what you do as a person, how you're doing to improve our environment, man. I greatly appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. We appreciate your work as well.
All right, so episode 12 of season 3, Vegan Talk with my guy Chef Kane in the building. So Chef Kane, can I read your official bio before we get started?
Absolutely, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So Chef Chris Kane's Plants is a former college athlete turned chef, trainer, nutritionist, raised in the streets of Baltimore City, Maryland, surrounded by food deserts, homicides, racial injustice, and funny politics and endless chaos. The chef has lived to talk about it all and has met many amazing people along the way, from pro athletes to entertainers. He hits on all topics from current news and events on his podcast, his Chef Kane's Plants podcast, to what foods, and it also talks about to what foods can be harmful to your spirit and tempo. Without further ado, let me formally introduce Chef Kane to the building. Yay! Appreciate you, brother. So, man, I definitely. So before we even get started, I hired Chef Kane a while back to be one of my personal trainers, and it was great. It was a great. I wish that I should have kept it going, but of course, schedule conflicts and things happen. But guess what? We getting back to it, man. We got to get back to it. Got to.
It's time, brother. It's time.
It's time. Listen, I'm trying to get started so that way by summertime of next year, when we outside, we out and about. Guess what? I'm not wearing shirts, Chef. Chris, I'm not wearing shirts.
Hey man, God wants us to come as we are, brother. You feel like you don't need to put none on. Who am I to stop? Who am I to stop?
I'm trying to have the 6-pack abs. I'm trying to be on silverback gorilla status.
Let's go. Let's go.
So before, as always, with every guest on the show, man, I like to play a great rapid fire question round entitled Fuego. Rapido! Are you ready, Chef?
Yes, sir.
Now, as always, I always give the questions of the entree to my guests, but they don't know these questions right here. So this is rapid fire. This is right up. He does not know the questions. So we about to do it right now. First question, I'm going to put it up to the screen for you, and I'm going to read it. If you could send a message to the entire world right now, what would you say in 30 seconds? Go.
Oh, I don't even need 30 seconds to get this message across, my man. But my overall message is to spread peace. I really want everybody to come in harmony and start working together and start loving each other. Stop looking at skin color and things like that. Amidst the stuff that we have going on, put it all aside right now and stop watching what we see on television and media and start acting on what we see right in front of us. And just love your neighbor, love your friend,
Amen, man. I that's great. I love that. And he definitely promotes this. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. All right, here we go. Well, before I even get to these, I have to ask you these questions, even though I know. See, some of these questions, man, they're not designed for you, Chef, but I'm going to have to modify. The people who watch this show, they know typically the first question.
I'm about to come with the fire.
Wings, flats, or drums, but I know you don't eat wings. You are a vegan. So let's modify it. How about this? I know you have fried oyster mushroom recipe. I saw that online. I'm gonna make that this week, bro. I'm making that.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite vegan item?
My favorite vegan food item. I will keep it to like a cooked food item, so I don't want to be too boring and give you a fruit or something like that. I love chickpea burgers. You know, I love making them myself, but if somebody makes one, a banging chickpea burger, combined with vegetables and a little flour, tastes like a chicken patty, man. Trust me.
Yep. And let me say this, guys. When I first and he's been, how long have you been a vegan?
I've been a vegan 6 years now.
Right. So when I met you, you hit me over the head with two things when we talked about this. And again, this is episode 12, season 3, Vegan Talk with Chef Kane. I remember two things you said to me. One, you said when we talk about cheese sticks, you said, what do you really, when you think about cheese steak, what is really what you like in it? And I said, well, the onions and peppers. You said exactly. And I said, well, damn, did I just become a vegan just now? And
just now.
And the second thing that you really killed, like you killed the internet with it to me. You said that silverback gorillas are vegetarian. And I thought to myself, well, damn, they would kill somebody in here and they out here eating veggies. So I really like that, man. Okay, good. Yes, I'm gonna have to try both of those recipes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure I get those recipes from you and try them and let people know what's up. All right, next question. What's the worst job you've ever had? What's the worst job you ever had?
Geez. The worst job I ever had, to be honest, I'm gonna try to answer this as positive as possible because I feel blessed from every job I've had, and I've been blessed enough to kind of stay in the same careers.
Yeah.
So I've been in auto mechanics, but I'm gonna say I have a love-hate relationship with warehouse jobs. It's like I love the work about, the fitness part of it, but the crack on the whip orders sometimes. You'd be like, bro, can't you tone it down a little bit, bro? It is 5 a.m. I'm slinging these packages. So yeah, I probably say the warehouse.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Now I would assume that the next question, it can relate. All right, Chef, I have to put my finger on the end interview button for this one. What, Chris, Chef Kane, what is your feelings about candy corn?
What?
Yeah, what's your feeling? How do you feel about candy corn?
Candy corn. The candy?
Yeah, the Halloween candy. Yeah.
It's trash. I mean, it's a cone of sugar.
Chris?
I know you may love them, but you know what it is? A cone of sugar.
All right. I will see. Okay, that's ding ding ding. I will accept that answer because he talked about it as a cone of sugar, and I get that he wants me to reduce my sugar intake. So I'm good with that answer. Him saying it's trash, we're gonna delete that from this episode. So you don't even have to. All right. Okay, I got one more for you, and then we're gonna get to our real questions. If you could instantly become one, what would you be an expert in? And it can't be anything that you do already. It can't be you being a vegan. It can't be a nutritionist. It can't be a personal trainer. Something else outside of what you do now.
I would love to be a psychologist.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Great. Well, thank you for playing. Fuego. Rapido. All right. So let's get into our real questions, man. And again, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate anybody who comes on the show. Thank you for dedicating your time, energy, your talents, your knowledge on the show, man. Here, it's episode 12, right? I think it's episode 12. I'm gonna have to change that. It's episode 12, Vegan Talk with my guy, Chef Kane in the building. All right, so all right. Let's get to some of our questions, okay? So the first question is going to be, as I read in your bio, you are a chef, you're a trainer, a personal trainer, you're a nutritionist. What made you get into those things?
Well, initially, as you mentioned, I'm not going to really go over things that you mentioned in the bio as far as my past, but, coming from athletics, I just saw it was a necessity in the community here in Baltimore to have active trainers that was involved with the community, and as well as chefs and nutritionists, because it's just, I feel like it's one of those areas that I struggled with when I was coming out of Mervo and playing Little League sports. It's like I had no mindset of like what I should be consuming as an athlete. Like, yeah, everybody says protein and carbs and fats, but what food should I really be consuming?
Right.
And as you go on in life, just even early in my training career, I learned that it's the control of your mind in the kitchen versus more so like every day I have to come in here and kill it. So I said, once we incorporate all of those things, into like community work, working with children and helping them where they are and just progressing from whatever diet they are to a healthier nutrition, healthier diet, and just a healthier mind frame. That was my goal. So yeah, I just saw using the chef lane and the trainer lane as an easy way to get in, to get into that line of work,
Yeah. And help
healing the kids. Yeah.
And thank you for that. Shout out to Mervo. We both graduates from Mervo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What year did you graduate?
I came out 02.
Wait, hold up. I'm older than you. I graduated in 99.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta be a vegan tonight. What is going on? I mean, I know I look young, but how the hell are you old? How am I old? No, cancel all chicken boxes tonight. That's it. So what the hell? What is going on here? But of course you look great, man. All right, that's great. All
Thank
right.
you, bro.
So thank you for your part in what you do here. Next question. So you are vegan. You've been a vegan, you said, for about 6 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Nowadays, I'm pretty sure you've seen it because you've been doing it, but now we see a lot of people transitioning. Let's call it plant-based diets. We see companies, Burger King. Mm-hmm. Now, then they got the Impossible Burger, Impossible Whopper.
Mm-hmm.
We see people are now becoming more focused on plant-based diets. What do you think is, why do you think that is? What do you think is a contributing factor for people and companies going more and transitioning to plant-based diets?
Well, first, I believe it's just a universal awareness now. I feel like a lot of companies have done their research as far as what's trendy. We know that they have a lot of information as far as how they store and analyze data, as far as computers and things like that. So they know what's going on in the world and community and how they need to curve and adjust their businesses to make sure they stay on top of their monetary gains. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're not going to let trends leave by the wayside. So they're going to make sure they grab all of that money. I always say people have to be careful, with those diets though. But I know we're going to dive into that a little bit as well.
Okay. All right. So for a person who's listening right now on this episode and maybe they're unaware, I know that you experience people who may not really understand, right? Mm-hmm. They just looking at it as hey, I'm not eating meat. That's it. Right. So what, just to let's set a baseline. What are the benefits of someone transitioning to a plant-based diet?
Longevity. Like you mentioned, I'm sure over the years you saw when I was, I was 288 pounds at one point, so the benefits that it served as far as my health, as far as with my own journey, me dealing with depression, obesity, I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure, so my journey is something that I don't keep a secret. I let everybody know, where I was, and I hope that helps them see like a common ground where they can meet me at. You know what I'm saying? Like where we can have this discussion. Like I've been there too. I was in your shoes too. So this is how it benefited me, So all of the issues that I had during that time subsided, everything removed. As far as health issues and complications, like I really, to be honest, I tell everybody this, I just feel great, and you feel great when you transition to that diet. Waking up in the morning is not hard. We know how much trouble we have getting up, going to work in the morning. It's like that alarm clock go off. It's like when you go plant-based and you start eating some raw foods, you start beating that alarm clock. Now you waking your alarm clock up, so it's a different lifestyle. It creates a whole new perspective on a lot of different avenues. So I always it's challenges going on now, you know, the 30-day vegan challenges and stuff like that. So I always challenge people to try the challenge, go vegan for at least 2 weeks, give it a shot, see how your body feels, see how your, you know, recovery and stuff like that from all sorts of things, from injuries, you know, you get sick, you know, you're not sick for a long period of time. If you get sick, because even that subsides, you know, you stop getting ill as much. Your immune system is strengthening now, you know? So all these things are good to incorporate in one's life.
Great. So with you, because like you said, it's documented, people can check on social media, like you were bigger. I mean, you were still in shape, but from that to now, people will be like, wow, what was like the biggest change that you realized, like, yo, this is it? Like, I'm in. Like, what was the biggest thing that happened as far as like when you transitioned to being vegan, transitioned to that plant-based diet where you were like, this is it?
Well, it's good you mentioned that. And when I mentioned I've been vegan for 6 years, I guess I should specify that, because that whole journey is a journey. Mm-hmm. You know, you make the commitment at year 1, but you have mishaps along the way. You know, year 2, year 3, you have a mishap here and there, but I still consider my mindset was vegan. So I stayed that 365 days out of the year. I'm that, you know. So it's like, for me, I truly just like to let me actually answer that question one more time. I lost track.
What was because I know you love talking about this. So what was the biggest noticeable change for you when you started transitioning?
Oh, you
were like, I'm all in. This is it. What did you notice?
Yeah, outside what I just mentioned, really just when I made that transition to alkaline vegan, mm-hmm. which is really it takes extreme discipline to really stay consistent on that diet. And this diet is mostly raw foods. You can have some cooked foods, but it's based off an electric diet. So when I start consuming those foods, that's when I really start seeing a huge jolt in energy and strength and recovery. And I was like, wow, it's crazy. You know, as far as me taking man-made products before to say they're supposed to aid in like protein, you know, protein's supposed to help you with recovery, and amino supplements supposed to help you with this and that. Actually getting aminos and proteins from the actual source, it was like, yeah, this is how I'm supposed to consume. You know, this is the foods that work with my body. I'm not getting stomach pains and you know, the gut issues and stuff like that we deal with. So like I said, once all the things start subsiding, I was all in. I was like, this is the way. My body feels great, you know.
That's great. Okay. So, all right. So you highlighted a lot of the benefits of going plant-based, you know, difference of energy, your immune system. I know you highlighted that, you know, a lot of times as far as behavioral, at times we might, you know, release ourselves from depression, different things like that. Mm-hmm. But I know that you probably have been met with people that have myths and misconceptions. What are some of the common myths and misconceptions that people have about transitioning to a plant-based diet?
Well, the protein myth has to be one of the largest, you know, myths and the most frequent ones that I hear. It's like everyone is huge on the whole notion of protein, and they're really missing out the importance of the other macronutrients like carbohydrates and fats, you know, how beneficial they are as far as recovery and strength and power, you know. So protein in itself is really in the aid of performance. It will be aid for recovery versus actual performance. So actual performance will be more so how many clean carbs and how many clean fats are you consuming, you know, to give you that push, give you that charge. So I would say the protein myth, people thinking that the animal consumption is the number one source of protein versus actually getting from vegetation or the soil, you know, where that plant comes from, you know. So yeah, I believe that's definitely the biggest myth.
So yeah, because you've seen it all the time. I've seen people say, well, what about the protein? So you're saying we can get it plant-based. Okay, what else? Give us another one that's a big myth or misconception that people have about a person being a vegan, vegetarian, that plant-based diet.
I would also say the affordability of it is a huge myth. A lot of people think it's not achievable, and I'm going to tell you firsthand, I was going through some extreme tough financial times, you know, during the course of my veganism, and me making that transition, as far as, working and things like that, I was still doing. So I mean, as far as like drawing that comparison, I tell people hand in hand, like, you can do this. It's not about money. It's about, your mental state and staying positive, staying grounded, not over consuming, checking on water, checking on hydration first. You know what I'm saying? These are some things, that you can do. So I would say the cost myth, you can practice fasting. That's the easy way to, cut costs. You can incorporate fasting throughout the week. More hydration. I call it hydration therapy. When you make water, literally, I mean, we are 80% water, so we should make water at least. I mean, what would hurt to make water 80% of your diet if you did 80% water and mostly fruit? People never experiment with these things, but we just like to throw notions and myths out there based off what we hear and see on the internet, and the internet is a dangerous place for someone like me because it tends to lead people astray from the truth. When I come with the truth now, they counteracting that with first click pics and stuff that they see on Google, so yeah.
And I remember when I had you as a trainer, even when we're talking about being hungry, you probably not hungry, you probably just water.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you're right. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all those lessons you gave me. Okay, so guess what, guys? As he said, hey, you can get your protein from a plant-based diet. It's affordable. So right now, you have a lot of people, like you said, it's trendy. Of course, it's not trendy to you because you've been doing it. A lot of people have been doing it. And, it's always great. While the internet does have some weird and crazy things, it is amazing stuff like what you're doing and you letting people know. For a person who wants to start, can you offer some advice of a person that is saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with the steak. I'm done with the meat. I'm done with all those different things. We got these super chickens and we have all this stuff happening. I want to eat clean as best as possible. What advice would you give that person? Where would you tell them to start?
Start where you are. Don't try to set unrealistic goals for yourself. Make things attainable and give yourself small short-term goals, to make sure you are congratulating yourself for your journey along the way, small rewards. Starting your journey off, I always say if you are consuming meat, I'm not. And see, people always think I place judgment on that. I never place judgment on people who consume meat. I just tell people to monitor how much of it they consume, because the issue we're having now is overconsumption of meat. So I would say if the best of your ability, start pescatarian. Start on a pescatarian diet because that's one of the easier digesting meats. Try to remove red meat from your diet as much as possible. Chicken, pigs as much as possible. Using pescatarian as a base. I think it's pretty simple, especially for Baltimoreans and Marylanders. It's like we love seafood here. So yeah, we can start with that as a base. And what I like to call infuse veganism with whatever diet you are currently doing. So wherever you're at currently, it's no problem with adding veganism to your plate. Why can't you have your meat and your vegan plate?
Right.
Why have we drawn a big line? Why is it a big separation in the restaurant between vegan and meat eaters when all actuality we should be able to eat together because I decided to eat meat today? So that's really my overall agenda is to get everybody at the same table, and that's the mindset, behind what I do, getting everybody to come to the table and see that we need to come together and work. But as far as like that initial diet, start pescatarian, incorporate fruit smoothies and stuff in your journey. Fruit smoothies are fun. The kids love them. You can drink them with the kids, stuff that's easy on you to prepare. Get familiar with it. Kale is a huge vegetable you want to add to your diet because it helps with not only recovery, you get vitamin K, vitamin D from kale. It's a superfood, you know what I'm saying? So you eat a kale salad alone, you're not going to be tremendously hungry. It's going to curb your appetite. It's going to literally give you all the minerals that your body needs and requires. So that's a strong vegetable. I always tell people incorporate that with your meat foods, and especially the number one thing, fiber. You know, it helps with cleaning out all of the meat that you eat. You know, if you eat a lot of meat, you want to chase it. You know, it's like the same chasing stuff. We want to chase it with kale and greens to help remove all of those things from the diet. So,
yeah. Man. And I saw
start with pescatarian and greens, man. Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? And I'm actually, I know you and I had talked about it, but that's what I was looking to do. Like I was like, I will check out, and we'll talk about that. But when you check out Chef Kane's pages, he does consider himself an aggressive vegan. I don't think he's aggressive. I think that he just lets people know what's up. And he talked about Thanksgiving meals, and you know, I appreciated it, but that did make me think, you know, when looking at some of the things that you were saying, and I'm like, man, what am I eating? You know, and I'm not saying, I will not say that this tastes good, but long term, you know, what am I doing? And I definitely appreciate what you've been doing, brother. All right, so as we close this out, can you give us one thing, just one to the millions and millions of listeners listening right now? Just drop a jewel for us as we head out.
Like you know, my overall jewel to drop to people as I truly address the diet and nutrition world and people struggling in that area. As I mentioned on one of your previous questions, start where you are. You know, don't put too much of a burden on yourself as far as if I'm going vegan, if I'm going this. We need to stop categorizing things and giving things titles. You know. I think people promote veganism because they have a passion to get people to stop either eating animals or to just get healthier. You know, a lot of us in the Black community, we've been struggling with the soul food nutrition for a long time, and it hasn't been getting us anywhere but walking us slowly to our graves. You know, and on our way there, we're taking pharmaceutical bills and all of these bills with us when that's unnecessary. You know, when we're in a state of sickness right now, you know, we should be concentrating on slowly healing the body. And I say slowly so we can make permanent results instead of trying to run the rat race. We get to the finish line and it's like, can we sustain this method that we created here? So yeah, man, start where you are, man. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, man. Like I said, always, I'm big on love, man. So love what you're doing. Love yourself first so you can love others. You know what I mean? That's the overall mindset that we should try to wake up with every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great, man. All right, so how can people connect with you? Where can they hire you? Where can they connect with you? Where can they jump in? When's the next time you're gonna do a 30-day vegan challenge? You got an idea when you're gonna do that?
I'm at this point, I'm not really participating in creating challenges per se, right. But I do tag a lot of my friends do them. I have a couple of friends that's like fasting coaches and things like that. So on my pages and in my stories, you'll see like people I post that do have them. Yeah. Okay, but as far as my IG, you can reach me at the aggressive vegan, and that's an underscore in between the and aggressive and vegan. So you can meet me there at Chef Kane's Plants, so Chef Kane's Plants _ Health Club at IG, and you can always email me at chefcanesplants@gmail.com. So those are ways you can reach me. Of course, I'm on Facebook under Chris Kane, but it's like a million Chris Kane. So I never steer anybody in the direction of that that pool of people looking for me. But yeah, those are good places to find me.
Great.
Oh, of course, the podcast, Chef Kane's Plants podcast. It's on all streams. It's on every stream. You just type in Chef Kane's Plants podcast. It'll pop up. Chef Kane's Plants ought to pop up. I'm starting to grow a little bit, so things looking good. Yeah.
You got it. I listened to the latest episode. I really liked it, man. It was a really great episode, man.
Thank you.
All right. So, man, I as always, man, it's all love, man. I appreciate you being on the show. I appreciate you dropping this wisdom, man. And I'm optimistic that what you're doing, and I know what you're doing, is helping us as a community, helping us as a people, man. You definitely drop a lot of love. You drop support, awareness. You know, and you drop great stuff, man. That's why I said I'm definitely going to try that fried oyster mushroom.
Try the fried oyster mushroom, bro. Right. They changed my life. Even because I didn't have them until later on, into my vegan journey. Once I had them, I was like, never going back.
Really never. I dip them in a buffalo sauce.
Does this buffalo sauce have animal product in it.
All right, well, that's the end of this episode. As always.
Gotta look at the ingredients now.
Yeah, I gotta look at them.
But it's vegan buffalo sauce ingredients out there, so we can.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use the sauce, man. I look forward to it, man. Your recipes and your food is extremely exciting, man. When I see it, and it's like, man, I really want to eat that. So the
cookbook should be out. The cookbook should be out this summer, so we want to do it like between April, May, June. We're shooting for around that time, so
that's great.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it and getting ready to drop that. So I'm happy about that.
I appreciate you, brother, man. As always, thank you for what you do and what you bring to the table, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Peace.
All right, as always, guess what? We're done with this episode, man. Please make sure you connect. And I thank my guy Chef Kane for being on the show. Please make sure you connect with him on all social media platforms. Let him know how you felt about the show. Make sure you reach out to him for all things like that. If you can catch each and every episode on the See.Plan.Do show. We drop them on Tuesdays. But guess what? You want to check out the other episodes? You can go right to my website, See.Plan.Do show.com, where you can also check me out on Facebook, Instagram, all of the favorite social media platforms. Please check me out for additional content. If you're looking to promote your events, your goods, your services, as well as sponsorship opportunities, please reach out to me as well. And last, but certainly not least, thank you for listening to this episode. All right. Thank you for watching this episode. You are the best part of this show. All right. Please share this show. If you're on YouTube, if you're on these social media platforms, if you're on these streaming platforms, please like, share, and subscribe. Please drop this information. Let's get all this information out there. All right. Catch me next week with another power-packed podcast. And what is it packed with? Well, apparently it's packed with vegan food. All right. Until we see each other again, until we talk again, until we share those special moments again, man. Stay safe, stay healthy. Stay at home, and always remember to see, plan, and do. I'll catch you next time. All right. Bye.